After a 2025 defined by contrast, between spectacle and intimacy, between nostalgia and reinvention, 2026 feels like a year standing at a crossroads. A year where endings and beginnings sit side by side. Long running sagas are reaching their conclusions, while new voices are stepping into the spotlight, asking us to trust them. These films are not guaranteed classics, nor promises of greatness, but they do represent possibilities. And so, in order of their scheduled release dates, these are my top 5 most anticipated films of 2026. Number 1, Arco. Standing apart from all of the blockbusters arriving in 2026, Arco stands out precisely because it isn't trying to overwhelm you. Produced by Mountain A, founded by Natalie Portman, who plays a role in the film, and Sophie Mas, and directed by Ugo Bienvenu, Arco has already lived a remarkable life before many audiences have even heard of it. A Cannes premiere, a Neon acquisition, top prize at Annecy, a quiet but powerful run across international festivals, an awards qualifying run in theaters last year before going wide this January. All of this recognition matters, because Arco looks like a wondrous leap for animation's potential as a medium. The kind of animation that trusts atmosphere over noise and emotion over velocity. In a cinematic landscape where animated films are often designed to be consumed quickly and forgotten just as fast, Arco feels like a reminder of what animation can be when it's allowed to breathe. It's not the loudest film on this list, but it may be one of the most necessary. Number 2, Project Hail Mary. Science fiction often asks big questions about the universe, but the best science fiction asks them about us. Project Hail Mary, Drew Goddard's second adaptation of an Andy Weir novel after The Martian, stars Ryan Gosling as an astronaut who discovers that he may be humanity's final hope. That setup could easily collapse into gimmickry, but what gives this film weight is the team behind it. Phil Lord and Christopher Miller direct, bringing a track record of emotional intelligence beneath genre playfulness. And Gosling, who excels at characters caught between isolation and sincerity, feels perfectly cast. The supporting cast, Sandra Huller, Ken Leung, Lionel Boyce, Milana Weintraub, suggests a film grounded in character rather than spectacle. Project Hail Mary, set to be released in March, stands to remind us that intelligence and empathy are not opposites, and that saving the world often begins with understanding a single life. Number 3, The Odyssey. Christopher Nolan adapting The Odyssey feels less like a surprise than a culmination. Nolan's films have always been about endurance, about time, memory, obsession, and the cost of refusing to let go. Homer's epic is one of the oldest stories we have about those very ideas. Set for a July release and designed explicitly for the big screen, The Odyssey promises a scale modern cinema rarely attempts anymore. Matt Damon stars as Odysseus, joined by an enormous ensemble including Tom Holland, Anne Hathaway, Zendaya, Lupita Nyong'o, Robert Pattinson, Charlize Theron, and many more. But spectacle alone isn't what makes this intriguing. The real question is whether Nolan can balance mythic grandeur with emotional intimacy, whether Odysseus will feel like a symbol or a man exhausted by the cost of surviving. If The Odyssey succeeds, it won't just be a blockbuster, it will be a reminder that cinema's oldest stories still have something to teach us. Number 4, Dune Part 3. With Dune Part 3, Denis Villeneuve reaches the end of a trilogy that has always resisted easy triumph. This chapter adapts Frank Herbert's second Dune novel, Dune Messiah, and unlike most franchise finales, the story in this novel was explicitly designed to dismantle the heroic narrative. Hitting theaters at the end of the year, hot on the heels of the finale of Dune Prophecy, this final film is set 12 years after Part 2 and is set to find Paul Atreides not as a savior, but as an emperor burdened by prophecy, power, and the consequences of belief. Timothée Chalamet's Paul is no longer becoming a legend, he is trapped by it. The story is darker and more introspective, and that tonal shift is exactly what makes it exciting. In a genre that often equates resolution with victory, Dune Part 3 promises something braver: discomfort. If this trilogy ends the way it began, with patience, intelligence, and trust in the audience, it may stand as one of the most ambitious science fiction projects of the modern era. And number 5, Avengers Doomsday. Few films carry more cultural weight than Avengers Doomsday. Reuniting directing duo the Russo brothers with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Avengers Doomsday will be serving as the first half of a two-part finale to the multiverse saga when it premieres in December, concluding with Avengers Secret Wars the following year. What makes this film fascinating isn't just scale. Marvel mastered scale years ago. This time, it's self-reflection. The return of Robert Downey Jr., not as Iron Man but as Doctor Doom, signals a franchise willing to interrogate its own legacy. After years of expansion and fragmentation, Avengers Doomsday carries the burden of uniting all of the characters, timelines, and themes that Marvel has been exploring over the past 7 years of the multiverse saga, while still maintaining emotional coherence. Whether it will succeed remains to be seen, but if they pull it off, we may just have another two-part Marvel masterpiece on our hands. Anticipation is not a guarantee. These films may surprise us, they may disappoint us, they may redefine their genres or quietly pass by, but what they all have in common is ambition. As 2026 begins, cinema stands between repetition and reinvention. These films suggest that the future still holds room for risk, wonder, and storytelling that trusts its audience. The best films of a year tell us who we are, and I have hope that all five of these films will deliver exactly that in new and exciting ways. And that hope is more than reason enough to keep going back to the movies. So thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments, what's your most anticipated film of 2026? This has been Fandom Frontline, and I'll see you in the next video.